Hello and welcome to another episode of Ashaya Day Trip Productions. Today is Sunday, December 29th, 2024. Today's vlog is going to be a little different. Today I am going to do a at-home vlog, not at home the store, but at home like me actually being at home. Just kind of want to go out, got some shopping I got to do, got to pick up some groceries and some other assorted items. Then I'm going to come back home and we're just going to kind of do a little decor setup today, and also going to do just kind of a small recipe I have in mind. As you can see behind me, I still have my Christmas tree up. However, all the decorations have now been put safely away. So now I'm ready for the next step. Just gonna kind of take the ornaments I have on the tree off and just kind of put on the ornaments I have for the winter season. So I just want to kind of spend a little time at home today and just kind of get this tree kind of set back up the way I want it. And then I got some other decorations I'm gonna put out as well, just kind of represent a little bit of the winter time of year. So alright, so here we go. So the plan is just kind of head up to the Walmart Super Center here in Bentonville. Just kind of pick up my first few grocery items and another assorted items, which I will kind of mention in my next video after the new year. Kind of excited about it, but also kind of very nervous about it. But I figured, I like doing this channel and I want to keep on doing it, so might as well try something a little different, and that is the plan. It's actually a very nice day out here. It's probably about 55 degrees right now. It's about shortly after 1 o'clock. And I think just right before the new year, they are expecting cold weather to move on through, which I am ready for. Kind of odd to be here at the end of December and it be 55 degrees. It's a little warm for this area for this time of year. So just so you know, this is Walton Boulevard right here. If you go straight, that'll take you directly into downtown. I'm going to take a right and head towards the Walmart Super Center. So what I'm going to do here, I placed an order online, so I'm just going to go back here to their pickup area. And doesn't look like they're too busy, so hopefully this will move on pretty quickly. So that was quick and painless. It took about 8 minutes total, so not too bad. Well, alright, so I did my shopping, and of course, went to 2 different grocery stores and forgot one ingredient, so I figured, oh well, I'm not going back out for a 3rd time, but that's okay. Things happen, so that's okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna just do maybe like a simple recipe that I found, or something like that, or something I've had once many years ago, and I kind of want to try again. It's been a while since I've done this, but I do want to give it another shot, so I figured I'd do a little video and include this. So what I have here, this is Bulger So I'm gonna do kind of just basically, like, I guess you can call it a Bulger salad is what I call it. On here, on the back of this, they have a recipe, which I believe it's called tabbouleh or tabbouleh, whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of do my own little take on this because, like I said, I forgot an ingredient. And this recipe calls for scallions, which I forgot to get, and I don't even think the second store that I went to even had scallions. Sometimes some of these smaller stores here in the area don't really have quite everything that you need, so, but that's fine. This also calls for chopped mint, which that's not something that's wasn't available at the second small store I went to. It also calls for chopped parsley, which I did get some parsley, some fresh parsley. And it calls for cucumber, seeded and diced. I could probably dice the seeded part. I'm not going to worry too much about. I might try to get out a little bit that I can, but it's not a real big deal for me. And it also calls for tomatoes, seeded and diced as well, which once again, I'm not really worried about the seeds in it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to kind of get started on this and just kind of see how this works out today. So what I'm going to do right now, it's calling for, says here to combine 1 cup bulgur and 2 cups water in a pot, and that's just for the basic cooking instructions. And it says bring to a boil, cover, reduce heat, simmer and cook in tender, almost like rice, you know, some way how you would do rice. I'm actually going to do this more the way that I learned initially, and also what it's calling here for the tabbouleh, where you just take the bulgur and you combine it with either just real hot water or boiling water and just let it sit for an hour. So basically that's what I'm going to do now. So I have here, and you have to, excuse me, this is, let me say right off the bat, I'm not Martha Stewart. This is just, why not, you know, kind of try out something a little different, just something kind of do at home. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here and grab my little pot. I'm going to put the bulgur in this, but I also have here a little teapot. So I'm going to take, I think it calls for a cup of water, and I'm going to get this boiling, and then I'm going to just do like it says. I'm going to combine the boiling water into the pot here with the bulgur, and we're going to let it sit for an hour to just kind of let it cook, and then we're just going to kind of go on from there. Alright, so I got the pot on the stove over there, just kind of heated up to boiling. I just want to show you, this is what bulgur looks like. It's just like a fine wheat, so that is a cup there. So I'm just going to put it in here. Once I get the water boiling, I'm just going to add it. We're just going to let that sit for about an hour. So while that's doing that, I'm going to come over and grab some of the vegetables that I bought, which is just basically the parsley, well, which is not a vegetable, but you know, it's the herb I'm going to put in it. And then we got, of course, well, I also got mentioned too, got a lemon. We're going to add the lemon a little bit later. The recipe, I believe, calls for 1 cucumber, I think 2 tomatoes, but of course, the way I do, you know, I like cucumbers, like tomatoes, so don't want to overdo it, but I like to have just like a good enough amount just to make it, you know, good. So we got 2 cucumbers. Got a couple tomatoes here, so I'm just going to kind of get started on slicing and dicing these and get it all situated. Here I bought the parsley, so I could just add some parsley later. I usually don't use fresh herbs very many. It's just I don't know how to keep it to make it last. I think if you freeze it or something, like I said, I'm not Martha Stewart. I don't know too much about how to do this. You know, I buy it, put it in a pot, and, you know, call it good. That's just kind of the way how I do things. You know, I'm not big, you know, real fancy cook, but you know, it's nice to be able to know how to cook a little bit, just something real easy you can put together, better than just eating fast food all the time and just, you know, all that stuff. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to kind of slice and dice these cucumbers and tomatoes. And I will also say that I am not real good when it comes to slicing and dicing, if you will. I kind of just, you know, I'm one of those people that get these, like, take the knife and be like really careful. So So not a professional by any means, but you know, a lot of people aren't, but you know. So that's just the way I do. I know it's not right, but hey, that's okay. You know, it's okay. So I'm going to start with my cucumbers. I'm going to cut off the ends. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get out a bowl so that way I could just kind of throw them in there. Kind of like to do this while the bulgur is going, so that way it just keeps kind of keep the process moving along. So this, like I said, this is just how I do it. So I'm just gonna kind of cut off the skin. Be careful to kind of keep my fingers out the way. And the way I do it is I always kind of, you know, start with what's going to leave the less mess starting out. So I usually do like cucumbers first. Then I do like tomatoes afterwards because, you know, tomatoes got a lot of that juice and I don't want the juice like going everywhere. I try to maybe just kind of throw out the excess juice. So I think what I'm going to do after I do this, I'll probably go ahead and do the parsley, and then I'll do the tomatoes last. Alright. Sounds like the water's starting to boil. One thing it doesn't say whether or not to cover it. Just says combine bulgur and boiling water and let soak for 1 hour. So I think in my case I'll probably just go ahead and cover it. Don't know if you can make it out over there, you know. Kind of hard to see. I'm just going to simply add it. It's boiling pretty good. Note the time. It's about 3:50 in the afternoon. So we're going to let that soak for about an hour. So it should be ready about 4:50. I'm going to take the cucumbers and I'm going to go ahead and kind of dice them. Now, like I said, I do it the best way I can, but I'm no chef. By no means, I don't even have really good kitchen tools, but you know, you got to work with what you got sometimes, so that's okay. And good thing I'm noticing about these, there doesn't seem to be an excessive amount of seeds in it. Obviously there's seeds, but it's not too bad. So, you know. It says to cube the cucumbers and the tomatoes, which I guess you can pretty much cube them as how big or how small you so choose. I think mine's going to be a little bit of half and half. And yeah, I might actually not use all this cucumber in the salad. I might just eat a little bit just by itself. It might be a little bit more than what I need. I think that right there is going to be plenty of cucumber for this salad, so I think I'm just going to kind of cut this little half up a little bit and just kind of eat it for a snack later on. Cut it like a pickle. Okay. Now I think next I will probably go ahead and kind of chop up the parsley. And here it's calling for 3 cups finely chopped parsley, which I'm not going to worry about how finely chopped it is. One thing, like I said, I don't really do fresh herbs. I don't know really how to work with it very well, but I figured, you know, they had it available at the store, so I went ahead and grabbed a little, I don't know what you call that, like a bunch. There you go. Alright, so I had just rinsed off the parsley in the sink, and I just kind of took it and just kind of squeezed out the excess water. So now I'm just going to cut the ends off. And now, I'm just going to kind of cut this up best I know how. Just going to try to cut off more of the stems here. Try not to make a big mess. And to be honest with you, I actually have what they call that, a food processor, so I think in this case I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe just kind of hook up the food processor, just kind of make this go a little bit easier. Of course, one thing about using a food processor, you don't want to overdo it because then it just becomes like liquid and mush, which isn't good. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out that food processor. So I ran the parsley through the food processor, and this is what I'm left with. So I got a pretty good amount, as long as I don't throw it on the counter. Like I said, it's a clean counter, or it was pretty much till I started doing this. But there we go. All right. So now I'm going to do the last main ingredient. I'm going to slice and dice a couple of tomatoes. And once again, as I have said a couple times before, I am no chef. I'm not real good at the slicing and dicing, but I do the best that I can. So that is what I'm going to do here. I gotta say, I've never had an issue with the top not coming off. That might not be the freshest tomato out there, but hopefully we can make it work. And I always like to kind of cut out as much as the core as I can. I will say I think tomatoes are probably one of the hardest. Actually, I don't, is tomato a fruit or a vegetable? I'm not sure. No, I think it's a vegetable. But anyway, it's really hard to get fresh tomatoes, and this is going to be no exception. Like I said, you just got to kind of make do sometimes. This one here, they do tell you kind of take out the seeds. I think I'm going to try to do that a little bit. So basically I'm just kind of just scraping out the seeds with a spoon. So I think I'm just gonna slice up these, or dice these tomatoes and just kind of add them to the cucumbers that I already have diced. Alright, that's one tomato down. One more to go. So that is the first part. So now I'm gonna do now is just kind of wait on the bulgur to get done cooking. And then I will drain the bulgur. Then I will add these ingredients. And then I'm going to add some lemon juice and some olive oil. Kind of mix it all together. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. We're going to let it chill for about an hour. While I'm waiting on the bulgur to finish cooking through, I'm just going to step over here to my little tree. And I'm going to start the process of taking these pretty little Christmas ornaments off. And then I'm going to start adding some, I think I'm going to add those white ornaments to the tree. Just kind of give a little bit of, you think winter, you think snow and cold and just all that good stuff. So I wanted to just kind of add the white to it. So I think I'm going to do a mixture of white and black colors around the tree mostly. Probably going to add a few other colors too. I'm just going to have to kind of get creative a little bit. Just kind of do something that just kind of represents a little bit of the winter time. So yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. So it took a little bit of doing, but I finally got all the bulbs and the tinsel off of the tree. So now I got a fresh slate to start with for my next little tree decorating project. I just took the solid bulbs that didn't have any of the sparkly stuff on it, and just put those in their own little tub here. And I put the red, put all that little sparkly stuff in one. Then I put the silver sparkly stuff in another. I did that just to kind of keep that glitter stuff off of the solid colors there, because I know sometimes that glitter just likes to go everywhere. And then I got the tinsel in its own little bag, just kind of keep that separate, keep that from going everywhere as well. All right. So I think now my bulgur should be about done. So I'm going to step over to the kitchen, just kind of see what we got. Well, unfortunately, the bulgur is still just a little bit undercooked. So I went ahead and just boiled some more water and just kind of covered it back up, just enough to cover the bulgur. I'm going to probably let that sit for a while. It's about 5 o'clock now, so I figure about 5:30 or so I'll check back in on it, just kind of see how it's doing. Yeah, all the water was absorbed, but I guess I don't think it was quite enough water in my thoughts on that. So I think that's just kind of something to note in the future. If you decide kind of want to try something like this, kind of add a little bit more water than what it's called for. I guess, of course, once water boils, some of it evaporates, obviously. So, so it might be a good idea just to have a little bit more water than what is called for. So, now, since I'm going to have to wait on this for a little bit, I'm going to kind of ease on back down over to the tree. Just took a few minutes, just kind of spread out the limbs a little bit more, and I think just kind of walking around a little bit. I think it looks a little bit better than what it did before. I think I got a little bit more room in there. It's kind of hard, kind of getting around the tree here, trying to get a good view. Of course, I'll have to probably straighten that top back up. Just gotta come over here, and I'm gonna kind of just start at the bottom and just kind of work my way up. I think what I'm going to do, in this case, I got some of the glitter white ones, and then I got more of a, I think the other ones are more of like a matte finish, like this. I'm just going to kind of mix it up a little bit. So here we go. Now also too, these matte ones I have actually came from my Halloween, the Halloween bulb set, and most of the glitter ones actually came from the Christmas. And I actually have some black bulbs too. I might utilize on this tree a little bit, just kind of mix up the colors a little bit, but being the fact that this is a black tree, I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. Another option too is maybe just add a little bit more of the silver bulbs on it, just kind of give it a mix. So we're just going to kind of put it together and just kind of see how it looks. So it's now just after 7 o'clock in the evening. Got some good news, got some bad news. Start out with the bad news. The Bulger didn't quite turn out the way I would have liked. Let it soak for about an hour and it was not quite done. So I kind of added some more boiling water to it, let it go for another 30 minutes. Finally got it cooked pretty much, but of course it was a little, I don't even know, you know how sometimes when you cook rice and it's just like clumpy and all that, you know, if you don't do it right, it's kind of like that, unfortunately. Still edible, but I think I'm going to probably just kind of call that good, try again some other time. Good news is though, I did get some, I got a nice salad, you know, I got, cucumbers and tomatoes and parsley, and, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, you take a little bit of olive oil, mix it in with a little bit of vinegar, add some salt and all that, kind of mix it in with the salad real good, and you know, you got your nice little salad, which nice alternative to like your dressing. You know, I like ranch dressing, but it's nice to have an alternative every once in a while. Good news is, however, I did finally get my winter tree up. Didn't quite have enough of the white bulbs, so I wound up using a little bit of the silver bulbs that I had. So I think it turned out pretty good. So I'm just gonna kind of step over here, just kind of show you a little bit what I have accomplished. So without further ado, here is what I have done for the winter season. It's pretty much the same tree. Of course, I took out the red ornaments, and I didn't quite have enough of the white, so I went ahead and added some of the silver. I left the flower up because I figured it has white, it has the silver in it, so I figured that would be, you know, okay to just kind of leave up. I think the colors work. And of course, some of these items I have back here, some of my Halloween decor that I bought this year. But I thought these will also work during these cold winter months. Just kind of add a nice little eerie ambiance to the season. Got a couple of my skulls out. I got my cat skeletons out. And I also have here the lady of the dead, if you will. So that's gonna do it all for me today. Until next time, bye.